this isn't like on a list of anything that I was like, say, hey, you should talk about this. This is just like a little thing that I had thought about because, well, I needed to get my thoughts out a bit on a topic. In that, um, I'm sure, like, say, like, for those viewers who probably are trans or probably have, like, been thinking about it, or perhaps, like, you're just stumbling onto this video, there are several things that perhaps, like, like, no one really ever told you when you first made that step to, you know, like, whether you decide to go, like, say, hey, I'm start taking estrogen, or I'm gonna start taking some testosterone. Um, well, for me specifically, one thing I was never told, honestly, though, is like, say, here's like one thing most people will tell you to do, is in that, like, say, hey, there's a certain amount of time that you're going to want to socially transition, and that means to just like say, okay, like live your like how your daily life, do things like you normally would, but do them differently, and that like say, hey, do makeup, wear perhaps like a different article of clothing or something like that, trying to in a way like like present yourself differently, and because that's one thing that really helps you in a way, like because like say, hey, if you're able to be able to do it confidently and not feel like say like as you do it, then you're gonna be able to feel like say, okay, I think if you can walk head up high, and like one thing I would do though is I would always have my headphones in, and I would just like say, just like, and all that. And it kind of worked for me, really, like just, yeah. Um, and yeah, like, mostly I just like say, I'll just like say, hey, if I'm going out to the movies by myself, I'll just, like, I sometimes like will do like, a bit of wings and all that. Um, yeah. One thing that also like is really rather important, makeup. Especially like say in the early development, if you're like say one of the folks that were like got really like lucky when it comes like say, hey, um like like even if you were really good at um growing facial hair, if you're really good at growing facial hair, then yes, like say it would be good if you learned how to do makeup. So then like after you shave and all that, you know, contour, highlights, um, covering all this a little bit up and all that, because like say if you're able to hide all that stuff, that's good. Plus is like say like, if you have like say like really strong sense of dysphoria, that's gonna like help you because my gosh, that is that is a really big punch in the gut. If you know about dysphoria, or like say if you know it, you know it. I'm slowly trying to like see that dysphoria, and I'm just trying to say, go fuck yourself, dysphoria. Go fuck yourself. Most of that, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean when I said it, but yeah, like say, sometimes you'll just like think, like say, ha, you know what? Oh, good. Another really thing that is not really, or maybe like say, probably told to you as well, is when you first start out, perhaps on it, some like if you don't have that many like say folks that are trans, or like like you don't have like a big support system, or there's perhaps some folks like when you first go down the road, some folks are just gonna like say, hey, I like this, I like that, and not that, like say I like this dress, I like that skirt or whatever. um and it becomes a bit like say a bit of a little bit of experimentalism in that, well, you didn't grow up with the experience, so you don't you wouldn't really know, hey, does this, like, do you really know if like say, hey, this accessory works, or perhaps like maybe it's too hot to wear this little number or something like that. And all it really depends because sometimes, like when you're going through it, you really do not know. Like in your mind, you're like say, "Hey, this looks cute together," but then sometimes someone's gonna say, "Uh, what's going on all over here?" Kind of feel. um. So yeah. I really think like there's quite like perhaps like say what were some of the things that you went through when it came to transitioning, or you know things that you probably had to tell your friends that like when it went through their process. One thing I've been having to also tell myself too is like say, hey, I mostly just like say like I wear a lot of headbands, most because that really helps me get used to like say, hey, keep going, don't cut it until they say, hey, um, you really feel like hey, it's time for it, or it's getting too hot for it too. But yeah, I guess it's just how I feel about things.